Hello, I'm Patrick Jenkins, the FT's financial editor, and I'm here talking to Andrew Bailey, the current head of the Prudential Regulation Authority and newly named as the next Chief Executive of the Financial Conduct Authority.
Well, the FCA isn't a lesser regulator. I mean, the interesting thing about it, I think, judged from sort of my own experiences at the PRA, is that I mean, it's sad in a way, but the importance of conduct and misconduct, of course, has been emphasised to us in recent years. So I think in no way should we think the FCA is less important. It isn't. The reason, I mean, I've loved my time at the PRA, and it's been a fantastic time, and I've enjoyed it immensely, and I was fully intending to go on enjoying it immensely. But the point is that for this system that we have in the UK, with its two peaks, conduct and prudential, to work, they've both got to work. And I've said that quite a few times, and I believe it. And it was my words were put back to me in a sense, and it was put to me that it was important that the FCA was put on a stable footing and able to be successful. And I agreed that I will do everything I can to make that happen, and I'm looking forward to it. This is not a sort of in any sense a change that I'm not looking forward to. It's a great challenge. It was a great challenge back in 2011 when we took on prudential regulation, which had obviously been through a huge shock of its own. So this is a great challenge, and I'm looking forward to it. Well, I've said this to friends. I don't live to become governor of the Bank of England, and I don't recommend anybody doing that. Live to enjoy what you're doing today and what you're invited to do in the immediate future, and that's very much my philosophy. And I do enjoy it. I've enjoyed the Bank of England for 30 odd years, just over 30 years. I enjoy public policy. It's hugely challenging. And when I think about the challenges that we're going to have at the FCA, it's something that I've said, yeah, I'm very keen and up for taking it on. And that's what it is. We've had big challenges in the bank and big challenges in the PRA, but the whole system has to work. I mean, that's the key point. And when we look across the landscape, sadly, again, as I say, conduct and misconduct is a big part of the issues that we're dealing with. I think the philosophy of ring fencing is pretty clear now. We've, in a sense, developed a model. We tend to call it the sibling structure, which is obviously the ring fence back, non-ring fence back holding company structure at its simplest. The reason for that is that the underlying philosophy of the ring fence, as the commission that John Vickers chaired developed, is that you don't want the ring fence bank to be dependent on the non-ring fence bank. Now, obviously, and I support this. I mean, the decision was taken not to go the full way and do full sort of what you might call Glass-Steagall separation. So that leaves a certain amount of dependency. But the sibling structure seems to me to be most consistent with not just the intent of the Commission, but the intent of Parliament. And we think that it's the structure that is most consistent with achieving two things. I mean, one is to get this sort of necessary degree of separation, but as I say, to have it within a structure where you can, for instance, still have operational linkages, you'll still have customers who are with both of them. I think the problem with the sort of what you might call the sort of parent subsidiary structure is that it doesn't achieve the same degree of break of the dependency. It leaves more of it there, and I don't think that was ultimately really consistent with what's intended in this system. Now, we debated this some time ago when we were thinking about sort of how we put the sort of commission and how we put the legislation into effect. And I think that's the sensible way of doing it. Well, first of all, I should say I'm enormously grateful to Tracy McDermott, who's going to stay on as interim CEO of the FCA. And Tracy's had, in my view, enormously distinguished service to the FCA. And it's, the FCA today is actually much more the one that Tracy has shaped, obviously, since last summer. I think, honestly, shooting first and asking questions later is something that was probably put to bed by the FCA a while ago. It's not my philosophy. I'm not, I should emphasise, this is not about bringing this sort of, let's import the tools of prudential regulation. Conduct regulation is different. I mean, it clearly is different. I've been on the board of the FCA since it came into existence. I can see that. But I think shoot first, asking questions later has been put to bed, and it won't be part of my rhetoric. No, I can tell you that. I'm not saying a lot about how I'm going to do it, because frankly, my whole approach is to sort of, in a sense, talk to people both inside the FCA and many people outside the FCA, and build a picture of what we should be doing in the future. But don't think that will be part of it. No.